everybody, one of Wiisdom here. It is November 7th, 3:03 in the morning. I should have had a video released. I've gotten slowed down. The Xbox had to do another update, so bear with me, I'm a little tired. That said, we have got a Magic Sorcerer. Now, I've had plans to make a Magic Sorcerer since the creation app on the phone, right? I came up with something, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was a unique take on Skylanders, something I hadn't seen them do before. And I don't have the parts to build it. They're not like super exotic parts. They're honestly things I thought I would have had unlocked by now. We do not, so we're just in Star Child form here, I guess, whatever you want to call it. The staff doesn't really fit this Star Child form, but I have to keep that staff because it's going to be the baseline with which we do everything here. So, interestingly enough, the set parts we unlocked here were not what I thought they would be. I think I will take you inside the academy to showcase a couple of these. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I'll try to remember to showcase the chest, which we have up top. I created this one on the vacant save file where I was able to get cash for this one. Side note, I can get like 632 with my water swashbuckler with his luck at like 50 something. So that's a pretty sweet deal there. But anyway, let's go ahead and cover this right here. We're going to begin. This is two new things for us. We've got the Magic Elemental powers, and we also have the Sorcerer class. Now, to me, there's a couple of sorcerers that come to mind. Most notably Magic, then I would say Life, then I would probably say Light, possibly Dark, and then we would kind of get into Fire Sorcerer, makes sense. Air and Water and Earth, kind of all three on the same level. Tech, not so much, but like I said, the main one I associate with it is Magic, and then sort of Life, Undead, Light, Dark, so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to play with, but we will cover the elemental powers in the next video, so that means in this one we will be focusing on the weapon powers, the secret techniques, and the mastered forms thereof. Assuming I have enough cash to do that. I think I do. I meant to double check that, but anyway, we're going to get started here with Enchanter. Press X to throw magical orbs at your enemies. Press XXX for a quintuple shot. Notice not a triple shot, but it's 4 quintuple, right? So we're actually, that would be 5. Right? Yeah, so I've only counted 4. I guess maybe it's thinking the third hit is the first. I don't know. I'll showcase it to you. Like I said, I'm tired. Bear with me here. So that's sort of what it looks like, and the range on it. Oh, it is doing 5 now. Weird. I've never actually looked at it from this angle. I've just always attacked, and I could only count 4. But anyway, standard damage is 26 to 39, and the way it works, first hit 26 to 39, second hit 26 to 39, and then all this time I'd been logging everything, which it began at 12 to 18. It's now worked its way up to 13 to 20. 4 additional hits is what I was counting. So let's see what we can do here. Note how it looks like the staff is floating. Anyway. I mean, that I've counted it before painstakingly. Is the center one hitting at 26? Is that why I've always counted 4? Because to me, I'm still counting 4 from 13 to 20. So I think that's what it is. I think it's a quintuple shot, meaning there's 5. But the reason that there's the 4, 13 to 20 here on my spreadsheet is because it looks like your center orb is still going to hit at 26 to 39, which is fantastic. That's going to be superior. Double, if you will, 13 to 26. So that is what the weapon power number 1, the Enchanter, looks like. And what we want to do now is come in and upgrade that, assuming I have the money. So we can cover these cheap ones for sure. I actually have 0 issues with this one. There's sort of these two dictate to me kind of what you would do with your sorcerer. In the event that you go Enchanter, you would probably want to use some of the dash attacks, although that's elemental based. But this is sort of like your more of a ranged fighter, and this is sort of more close quarters. This is very similar to some of the stuff we saw. One of my still favorites, Double Trouble, with his Eldritch Beam. That thing was just so ridiculously OP. To this day, I remember just destroying Dragon's Peak with it. Just single-handedly holding one button and decimating an entire level. That's what Enlightened is. So you don't have the range that he had. It's really hard to explain without seeing it, but you're about to see it. But Enchanter will sort of be like your, I prefer to stay away and move quickly. And this will be more like, no, I'm just going to go walk right up to people and slay them. So let's get started with Enchanter. We're going to upgrade it. Master Enchanter for 700. Press X to fire off a bigger burst of magical energy that does more. I don't know if I'm going to like that. If we lose the 1, 2, 3, and it's pretty much spammable, let's be honest. I don't know if I'm going to like this. So, that could dictate what we do with the character. 35, okay, so not a huge increase. Is it spammable? Oh, it still does everything. Okay, well that was misleading. So it's pretty much everything we knew and loved. It's just now it's a bigger piece of magical orb that does more damage. So the title was very misleading there. So 35 to 53 on the first hit, 35 to 53 on the second hits, and then the finale, the 5 shots, 35 to 53 in the mid, and what was it, 17? Is that what we were seeing? Yeah, 17 to 26. 4x. And we'll go 1, 2, 3. All right, so I was very worried about that. So many times I've preferred the base ability over the mastered version, and the sad thing is you can't reset it. Like, I can't retroactively be like, no thanks, I'm gonna switch back. It's like you lost the money and you're stuck with something you don't like, which sucks big time. Anyway, if you don't like that, if you're more inclined to be like, ooh, Double Trouble, good times, you're going to want to do Enlighten. So, press or hold X to use a magic beam to zap your enemies with. This is more concentrated, it's more close range, it's also slightly more powerful. Case in point, like right here, you know, it looks like it has good range, but you can see it's doing 37 to 56. The catch is, just like with Double Trouble, you can hold and lock on. And what I mean by that is that. Now, the thing is, I'm pressing away on the analog stick, like I'm wanting to back up, and I can't. It's really weird. I can't explain it until you do it yourself, but like, you know, with Double Trouble, I could like lock on here, and then I could like swing wide and wind up hitting that statue, which I've done this a few times, just like you saw there, but then it's somehow the beam like always pulls me into the enemy every single time, and it's really frustrating. But 37 to 56, all you have to do is hold that down. It never seems to time out. Now, if you get hit, which I did test that in the arena, it does time itself out, so you want to keep that in mind. But again, with Double Trouble, like I could lock on right there, and then just it would be locked, and I could use that. It would stay stationary where the beam hits, and I was able to orbit around the central point of the beam, and that allowed me to do residual area damage to everything around me. So you could focus on a Shadow Knight and then destroy everything that was weaker around you. It was amazing. But let's get the mastered version and kind of see what we've got to work with here. Dun, 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 dun. 700 will be the price. Press or hold X to zap enemies with a magic beam that does enhanced damage. So I'm assuming the same thing, just more damage. Even when the Enchanter's orbs are upgraded from 26 to 35 here at level 5, the standard beam at level 5 was 37 to 56, which is still superior. So let's back out of here and now see what we get with the big upgrade here. Whoops. Pay no attention to that. That's for another video. So is that. Dadgum, I'm pressing Nintendo buttons. Been doing a lot of Super Mario Odyssey. Oh, this looks way different. Now, can I do that, or will it see it locks on? Oh, but 52 to 78. Good gravy. That's a jump. 52 to 78 can hold and lock on. Fantastic. Plus 15 there from level 5 to level 5 mastered. But, once again, if I try to, like, swing wide, I'll get a couple where it's like the back end of the staff hits. This is the best I've ever done. but it's wanting to draw him in. Like once I let away from that, it just pulls you in. And so it's not quite what you had with Double Trouble. It's still pretty intimidating. And again, this allows you to kind of do two different things with sorcerers. So if you're intrigued by the prospects of making sorcerers, to me, it's like two total different playstyles based solely on the weapon powers. And the weapon powers are the most basic attacks, right? Your primary. So that said, what we want to do now is take a look at the secret techniques. Now, I think I'll need 8,000 for this, right? I'll check the money when we back out. Summon Fury is going to get us rolling here. Press and hold Y to summon powerful magical lightning. Now, there's 2 phases. We'll have enough money, I believe, if it's really 2,000. I think it is. If I just tap Y, it roughly runs for 2 seconds, so I'm inclined to believe if we had like a string of chompies coming at us, we could potentially hit more than one of them, okay? The catch being, when you just tap it, here at level 5, you're going to do 41 to 62. However, when you hold it, things change significantly. Number 1, you can control the pattern of the lightning. It's 70 to 105, and if you hit them all, it's 7 hits, which that's pretty significant, and I'm kind of excited to see how this one upgrades. So, come down here, we'll set that up. Aha, we'll have enough cash, fantastic. Most Furious, so, you know what? Really? That's totally... It's typically just mastered, right? Right? You know what I mean? Like, let me see here. Like on a swashbuckler, right? If we had our secret technique of sword wall, take down blade NATO and crisscross, it would be mastered sword wall, mastered blade NATO. Not most furious summon fury. Like, that sounds like number 1, like something Chaos would say, but summoned fury, what this I predicted it to be called is just like all the others, mastered summoned fury. And interestingly enough, this has a different precursor of adjectives here. So most furious summoned fury. We'll have to see if the others are like that too. But basically it just becomes more powerful, which is pretty intriguing, I must say. So we will tap. Oh, snap, son. Okay, was 135 on each dummy? Let me see. Okay, now we're doing 70. The 41 is gone. Now we got a 41 and 2. I feel like we have to be hitting that other dummy since he's rocking, right? Okay, why? Or what's the deal? You see the problem here, don't you? We're doing 70 and 35. And then if I'm like close enough, we do 41 and no 70 and 235. I don't really quite know how to log that, so we will say tap is equal to, I guess we'll go 41 to 62 and 35 to 53. That's what we'll call it. And then hold will be a total different ball game here. You know what? That's not a semicolon, that's a period, and we don't want that. So hold, let's see what we get. Okay, wow. I see exactly what's happening now. So hold, it's still 70 to 105 7 times with 35 to 53 tagging along 7 times. So essentially I don't quite... Basically what they're doing is they're adding 35, okay? So every time you do something like this, you get 35 additional damage. All right, clearly the area of effect is widened as well, but basically what was once 41 is now 41 plus 35. When you hold it, what was once 70 to 105, you're basically now going to rattle off an additional 35 every time, which if you didn't know is half of 70, which makes 105. So in a low-key scenario, you're going to be doing 70 plus 35 for 105. If you get a crit on 70, you'll be doing 105 plus the 35 for 140. If you get a crit on both, you'll be doing 105 plus 53 for 158, and then you have to multiply that out 7 times, which is complicated sounding, but I will take it. So again, the main thing, if you tap it, you can move the lightning, but it happens so fast it's pointless. But look at this distance here. I've never really tested it. Granted, you're going to miss some time, but with the area of effect, I'm able to rattle off hits on both of these characters, 70s and 35s if you position it correctly. So in close proximity with enemies, I'm doing 70 and 35 to each enemy for 105 for 210 combined. And then, of course, if we had 2 more dummies, we'd be doing 210 and 210 for 420. And that is some pretty insane damage. I will take it. So, let's see. Once again, this is Mystic Grid, which is kind of complicated. I've never had this connect more than 3 lines. You'll see what I mean in a second, but I'm mainly logging this as a singular stake. I'm calling these stakes. I don't really know what else to call them, like a stake that a grid would connect to. It's kind of akin to Voodooed, but again, not quite as practical. Just this Double Trouble's Eldritch Beam was superior, in my opinion, to what we have with Enlightened. I feel like I could do more with Voodoo's Tripwires than I could with this, even though both of these are unique and fun. To me, I prefer the SSA derivative. But Mystic Grid, press Y and create a magical grid that will hurt your enemies. Now, the good news is you do not have to create a grid, and I will show you exactly what I mean. This is doing 41 to 62 15 times. You can just throw that down, and it's just going to wail away at the enemies, and then I'm free to just come in and, do whatever I want to do with everything else, right? Now, the thing is, if I put one here and I put one here, if they're close enough, they're going to pulse that off, and you can technically get more than 15 at a time, but it's, really wonky to test, because it's going to be I can try to pinpoint one right here and one right here, and I have a really hard time placing them where I want to. You basically just get a close proximity. If I'm okay, haha, I'm going to stake mags. One time it'll be here, one time it'll be here, one time it's here, one time it's here. And that, of course, affects the proximity and whether they connect or not. For example, if I put one here and then I just turn and put one there, those connect. If I come over here, that does not connect. But if I put one here, it doesn't even connect. So then when I put one there, they connect. If I put one here, it should connect? No. But if I breach the middle, see, I can do that. And then that's the most I've ever gotten is 3 lines at a time. I've never been able to complete a square around me. Obviously, you can't really do a circle. But you could do a square or a diamond type of design around you for defensive purposes if you wanted to. And it's going to be one of those things where you're going to be better off to just go linear and stay in close proximity. And then, of course, you can come in and, wail away at the enemies with your other attacks type of a thing. And then, of course, as they start to expire, you could potentially, we've got that going. And if I'm thinking, okay, it's going to expire, I can kind of throw another one down, and then I can come back, so on and so forth. But again, for all intents and purposes, the way I log it is just like this, and it's going to be 41 to 62 15 times. So results may vary. You could probably rip off 20 plus hits if you really wanted to and worked on it, but just for the more simplistic way of viewing it, we're just going to worry about one stake and log that damage, because the damage doesn't change, but the number of hits is what you could potentially increase. So, and when you're dealing with 41 to 62, it's going to increase rapidly. An extra 5 hits is 200. So, that said, we're going to come in and we're going to upgrade this thing. Oh, it's different too. See, it should be Mastered Mystic Grid, and it's most mystical of grids. Interesting. Mystic Grid becomes more powerful, shocking smaller enemies. Okay. So, let's see what we can do here. Oh, that's the original damage. I always wonder what that would do. Okay, so let's put this down and see what we get. What? No. That's so wrong on many levels. 41 to 62 initial, and then 31 to 47, right? Yeah, 15.5. 14 times. So you're getting 15 hits, but we've downgraded severely based solely on the stake. Now, the grid itself between two stakes might make up for that, and I certainly hope it does. Okay, it does. 52, but honestly, I preferred it the way it was. Like, I don't understand why you go from 41 to 31. Even if 52 is now a thing. Because again, like, you saw where I was, and that one went way over there, and this one went over here, and they don't even interconnect. So that was 14 hits there, so grid lines 52 to 78, 14x. So yeah, I'm not a fan. I would unless you just absolutely love, you know, using this to hit enemies, which I would understand, but again, like I said, it's not the easiest thing to do, and it doesn't really connect well. Can we have more than 4 stakes now? No. As soon as I place a 5th one, the 4th one goes away. Oh, I finally did it. I finally got a square. Well, that was good. But again, to me, it's not the most fluid of attacks. I think you could get good with it. And again, if you go linear, but even like right there, why does that not connect? You know, now we've got it, but still, I just have a hard time thinking that it's worth giving up 10 from every single one of those stakes to get an additional 11. Now, with this, when it's doing 31 to 47, you're going up plus 21. But before we quote-unquote mastered this thing, we were at 41 to 62, period. And, yeah. Unless I'm crazy and I didn't realize it was doing different lowered numbers, but I'm pretty sure it was just 41 to 62, wasn't it? It's 3:30 in the morning and I'm dead tired, but this I would consider a downgrade overall. Some people might disagree with me, and again, if you love the grid lines, I could see that. But to me, I would rather have the stakes do more damage and the grid lines mimic that or do slightly more. But losing 10, no, that's not good. That said, we still got more to go here. We've got the sticky orb. Press Y to create an orb that enemies get stuck to. Now, this seems pretty lame, and it's going to seem lame right here. At level 5, you create it, you push it. Sometimes, like if I come in at this angle, never mind, I'm trying to hit that guy. Well, there's been certain times I've been able to get 70 to hit twice on this dummy. It's kind of a deal where, like, if it hits that wall and slows down a little, I have been able to log 2 hits. But 70 to 105 is great damage. Here it just seems stupid, though. Right? Unless you just think it looks really cool. But in the arena, you're able to, like, hit a chompy with this thing. Like, say the chompy's right there. When that thing goes off the edge, the chompy goes with it. And so it insta-kills him. And that to me is pretty cool. I'm trying to see if the explosion does anything extra. I don't think it does. It's got really good range, as you can see here. That should be spot on. No, the explosion was point blank in that guy's face and we got nothing from it. So 70 to 105, but again, what you can't see here is that could potentially send an enemy off of the edge. Granted, you would need to have an edge, but if you do, that's an easy way to eliminate them. It did not seem to work with bigger enemies, but I didn't really get to try it much. There weren't rats in that round when I was kind of testing that. But what we want to do now is master it. So again, instead should say mastered sticky orb, and I don't know that it will. Pro Bowler, I like that. Sticky orb becomes faster and more powerful. I'll take that. That seems like a legit upgrade. Two things essentially: speed and strength. So let's hit it. Oh, that is significantly quicker. 70 to 97, I will not complain about that jump. So 97, that's a strange number we don't see too often. The critical on that would be what? 48 doubled is 96, so 48 and a half, so 49. 97 and 49, that's going to be 146, right? If my math is correct. Let's see if we can get it. You can usually hit 2 enemies with it if you're so inclined. Oh, of course I would say that. There we go. Oh, now look at that. I got 4 hits out of that one. 1, 2, 3. I think 5 on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's interesting. So I can't really explain why, but there's the 2 impacts, a 3rd impact, it explodes, and the explosion is damaging all the enemies. Now, why doesn't the explosion damage them from this angle? Oh, it is now. Really? Okay. Can I get a spot where I can... Okay. Get the explosion with you guys. Because that's a big... Okay. Oh, this is really good. 97 to 146 roll through. 97 to 146. That's a game changer right there. You're taking a very big number and you're doubling it. And like I said, if it's a small enemy, they're going to get just pulled off the stage anyway. So that was a good upgrade. That makes up for Mystic Grid getting downgraded, in my opinion. Case in point, if this was a character and I wanted to use Mystic Grid, I would not spend the 2,000. I would not upgrade it. I would prefer it box stock over the mastered form. That said, we have one more here. It is called Magic Upheaval. This one's pretty cool. Again, you're not going to get to appreciate it in its full glory here. But press Y to throw enemies high up into the air around you. Now, where we're at level 5, this is doing 37 to 56. Obviously, these guys do not move. They're stationary. They don't get lifted up. First thing I did when I went to test this thing in the arena, I was thinking, okay, what's damage is going to happen when they slam back down to the earth? And the answer is nothing. It's still hilarious and it's still awesome to see and to experience, but you basically have that initial lift up damage of 37 to 56, and then it's just a done deal. So we're going to come in and master it for 2,000. Up, up, and upheaval. Interesting again. These have all 4 had unique names, which I'm pretty sure everything else has just been mastered. So nice to see that. Press Y to blast enemies into the air for stronger impact and more damage. I don't really know what that means because that seems redundant. So 37 still. But it's happening twice. So 37 to 56 2x is how I will log that into our handy dandy spreadsheet. And that said, before we go up top, I want to showcase the soul gem here. Again, we can't master it per se, but it's pretty freaking cool. If you're a fan of the sorcerer, I think this is something you're going to A, like, and B, use all the time. And this is a very rapid fire attack as well. Classic soul gem, if you will. Press right trigger to create a damage barrier around you. This I actually kind of like better than the second phase, which press right trigger again to shoot it out at enemies. Now, you don't have to do that because it will automatically do so after 5 seconds. Now, the catch is you have this ring for 5 seconds, but during that time, it's so quick, instead of dealing like you would think maybe 5 hits of damage or 2 to 3 hits of damage, it's double that. You're doing 11 hits. Okay, so the damage barrier is going to look like this. It's going to do 23 to 35. and then it shoots itself out. And again, if I decide I want to shoot it now, I can stop it. But watch this. I'm just holding RT down. 23 to 35 11 times, and then it shoots itself out, and it can pierce multiple enemies. It's fantastic. Also, note my speed here. And now, I'm inclined to say you move slightly quicker with it. I could be mistaken. Don't hold me to it. But let me check the time here. Man, we're not doing too bad for as much rambling as we've done. So, 30-minute mark. We're about to extend it, though. Check this out, though. I'm sure most of you know this, but I do everything blind. For whatever reason, I did not associate this with Magic. It makes sense to me, although I would still personally affiliate this set with Undead, which I affiliate a lot of these with Undead, let's not kid ourselves. But, you know, like the Vampire, the Werewolf, which the Werewolf is Undead. There's a whole slew of them, and I guess I shouldn't affiliate this with Undead because it does tie in possibly even better with Magic. But just in my head, like, first thing, like, what element would it be for this set? I would be like, oh, Undead, of course. And I don't know why, because Magic does work and probably slightly better. But I don't know, let me know. When you see this set, if you just, I mean, nothing else considered, just what element would you tie this set with? It can be anything. It can be magic. It can be undead. It can be light, life, earth, tech, whatever. But which one would you affiliate this with? I'm interested to know. But it's a pretty neat one. So, you can see where we're going with this one, right? So, witches you do think of magic, but for some reason,
set part found.
I kind of affiliate it more with undead. And
set part found.
I'm not sure, like, if that... I could see this being pretty close, like 50-50. I can see some of you being like, oh, you idiot, that's 100% magic. What are you talking about? Well, I think there will be people like me that just kind of off the top of their head that's like, witch, and you're like, undead. You know? We'll have to wait and see. But let me know your thoughts on that. The coolest thing here, though, is the witchy hat, which looks awesome. We nag that thing for plus 50 luck. That's going to be some hardcore cash editions here. So, speaking of that, before I forget, what are we doing with a level 5 sorcerer? Well, we are sitting at 364 on our health. As I'm losing my voice now. We started out at 260, so the incremental health gain per level is plus 26. 260 to 364 across the 4 levels we've gained. Box stock, a Magic Element Sorcerer, we're sitting at 8 for the attack. Armor was 8, speed was 4, and luck was 14. Now, this is interesting to me because every single time we've leveled up, our attack has increased plus 2. It's very rare that you see that. So level 2 was 10, level 3 was 12, level 4 was 14, level 5 is 16. That's obviously plus 8 over where we started, which I will take. The armor plus 8 is now plus 10. It's gone up significantly lesser, which I guess that would make sense for a sorcerer. All these things, luck being high and attack being high, armor and speed being lower. Although I do kind of associate swiftness with a sorcerer personally. Speed, we started out at 4. We finally bumped it up to 7 at level 4. It was 4 the entire time prior to that, and we're still sitting at 7. Luck, we went from 14 to 17 at level 2. And then at level 4 we jumped up to 20, so plus 6 overall there. Speed plus 3, armor plus 2, attack plus 8. That's kind of the rundown on that. And what I want to do in here real quick is just breeze through this as best I can for you. My plan initially tonight, before the Xbox had to update, I was thinking, you know what? While it's fresh on my mind, I'm going to go through the weapon power, secret techniques, and the elemental powers. And I've got the elemental powers logged. I just, honest to gosh, I'm not going to stay up that late to do them. So, that said, it should be Thursday's video. What I want to do, though, is, this is the Double Trouble attack, which, as you can see there, classic Double Trouble. Nope, wrong tab. We're going to go back to Enchanter, and then we will start with Up and Upheaval, I suppose. So here is the Enchanter. As you can see, pretty rapid destruction with both of these at level 5. It kind of comes down to your playstyle. Now check this out. Oh, I see. So where the dummies took 37, 37 on the ground, if you pay attention to where the 37 hits, there's sort of like the instant one that takes him up, and then when he's about midair, it's almost like he gets hit again and lifted higher. See what I mean there? It's like up, up type of a thing. But it is hilarious. I absolutely love anything like this that I can do to spell punks. It just... I could kill them easily like this, but if I have a chance to like use magic on a spell punk, that's what I do. So we want to come in now and we want to drop down to Pro Bowler, which I don't know if that'll work on this guy or not. Oh, no way. So this might kill him. But case in point, I can just send him out of the arena to his death. That same concept works in... Oh, he didn't die. Okay, well, anyway, if this was like a ledge in the game, he would be gone. Even if he was like full health, he would just roll off and he's out of your life forever. So that is quite hilarious, so let me showcase that again. Oh, I blew it. Okay, I'm going to stand at the very edge of this thing if possible, let him come all the way up to me, and then we're going to send him to Buzz. Whoops, wrong button. No. Okay, that's a pretty cool attack. I'm liking that one. Again, it's one of those ones you don't appreciate some of these as much as you would when they have extra abilities like that. So now we're going to come in and we will do the most mystical of grids, which I feel like that's really my biggest complaint here. Oh, it was doing 41 there. And it's back to... Okay, so it does shock them though. Which, basically what that's going to do, it's going to keep them from taking damage. What in the world is that at 3:40 in the morning? Claim released. Wonderful, Nintendo's releasing claims. I always wonder about that. Like, I never get those until way, way after the videos many times. And I'm like, does that mean they've, like, kept the money this whole time and don't split it with me? I don't know the answer to it. Anyway, where were we? The Y button? Yeah. So, let me try to set... Oh my gosh. You can see what I'm talking about. You know what? With that shocking people, I think it's even more of a downgrade. Because what that's going to do is limit the number of hits that guy would take. Like, he's going to get hit 5 times now. He got hit 5 times, whereas the way it was prior, he would just, like, this would be here, and he would get wrecked 15 hits, right? And even now with that there, you should be able to get away from it. Oh, that's working well. Still, I just like that one better as it was, personally. Let me know your thoughts on that. Again, Mystic Grid's really been the only one I can really complain about this time. Pro Bowler is fantastic. Up and Upheaval, I'm fine with. It doubles the damage. Most Furious Summon Fury now. If I remember right, it basically doubled the damage. Or it didn't double it, but it added a 35, which is fine. So if I just quick tap, pretty nifty. And then if I control it, yeah. So... Overall, weapon power-wise, 2 different playstyles. Do you want to go Enchanter and do this type of stuff with an area of effect? Or do you want to like have a focused beam, sort of like Eldritch Beam from Double Trouble? That would be Enlightened. I feel like that's a key decision for your character. Do you want Enchanter or do you want Enlightened? If you want Enlightened, you're probably going to want to select elemental powers that would give you speed to get away. Or armor buffs or something, because you'll be more close quarters. Same with Enchanter, though. I feel like you might want the speed with that to kind of get away and reposition. But it's not as big a deal, in my opinion, as with Enlightened, because you won't have to, when you're ranged, like if I'm over here fighting enemies that are way over there, you know, I can get away quicker, you know, because I've already got the distance. Whereas with the Enlightened one, Like the enemies are here and I'm here. And so it's like, oh no, we need an exit strategy type of a thing. So, but both of those I think are fantastic. Again, it's just kind of, what do you want to do with this particular Imaginator, essentially? And the good news is you can switch on the fly, but like if you were bent on making a classical wizard, right, you might go with Enchanter and have the ranged attacks. If you're wanting to like, what you could do, you could replicate Double Trouble here. They've got the similar, gear for him. You could come in and you could go Enlightened. Sticking only, it's hard for me to not mention the elemental powers because I've worked with them so much tonight. But with the secret techniques, Summon Fury, fantastic. Sticky Orb is great fun. Magic Upheaval is hilariously fun. Mystic Grid, I think it would appeal to some people, and it's a very good attack. It's just not near as fluid as using the other 3 secret techniques. And like I said, the Soul Gem, it's ridiculous. Basically, I mean, you see what it does there. But I think we've covered everything here fairly well as I'm continuing to fight losing my voice. 40 minutes, not too bad for what we've accomplished here, but let me know your thoughts. Do you see yourself liking Enchanter or Enlightened more? Number 1. Number 2, are you a fan of Mystic Grid or do you not like Mystic Grid? And number 3, if you just turned on Imaginators and the game gave you the Witch set, what creation crystal would you grab to utilize it? Would it be magic? Would it be undead? Would it be dark? What would it be for you? I'm very curious to know. And like I said, I do see magic. It makes sense to me. But at the same time, I just, for whatever reason, it's like, oh, undead. It's got to be undead. So let me know your thoughts on that one. But oneofwiisdom.com is a personal website. SkylanderClub.com is a forum. I will be posting all this spreadsheet stuff that I'm constantly working on as soon as we wrap things up and I get a little free time in my life and it's not 3:45 in the morning like it is right now. Follow me on Twitch. Please follow me on Twitch. Tell other people to follow me on Twitch. I'm streaming there a lot more than I used to do. My internet doesn't really make that very easy, but bottom line, YouTube has continued to get worse. When you think it couldn't get any worse, it just keeps getting worse, and I'm having to take action. I make nothing on Twitch. I don't get ad revenue on Twitch. I don't seek donations on Twitch. I just play the games and enjoy not having people ridicule me for playing the games, which is basically what YouTube's doing when I upload videos, as I constantly have to fight with them. So you got 6 years, 3,000 plus videos of kid-friendly, family-friendly content, and everything I upload is suddenly not advertiser-friendly, whereas people that go against the terms of service and do things that are strongly encouraged not to be done, they don't seem to have any issues, and they get tons and tons of views and make tons and tons of money on YouTube. And then a guy over here uploading Minecraft, Stardew Valley, Shotgun Farmers just gets slapped in the face, and that doesn't sit well with me. So like I said, I will fight the hand that feeds, because it ain't feeding me much. And that's why I complain about it on Twitter so much. That's why I mention it and pin comments about it. I'm not just going to sit there and be silent about it and pretend like it's fine and good. This, to me, is still a hobby, and that takes a whole lot of the fun out of it, having to deal with that on the back end. So, every bit of Super Mario Odyssey until I basically reach a data cap with my internet is going to be live streamed, and I'll export it. I've got tons and tons of that thing lined up for release here on YouTube. If you don't want to wait, you can watch it on Twitch. Again, please follow me and tell your friends about it. Again, I'm not even set up to take donations on there. I don't care to take donations on there. I just want to be able to play the games and not get hassled about it. If I was doing things wrong, I'd be fine with the hassle. But I'm not. I'm doing the same things I've been doing since 2011, and it was never a problem until here as of late, and I'm sick of dealing with it. They're unresponsive. They don't care about small channels. They basically killed my channel and similar channels several years ago with their algorithm changes when they started deciding they wanted a bunch of teenage drama queens that don't really do anything that amounts to anything in life to have all the featured content. They seem to be getting farther and farther and farther away from gaming, which is really one of the backbones of their entire structure, and what built it and made it relevant and got the traffic generated for it. And it's ridiculous. And this is me doing what I can. Again, if Mixer had direct exports to YouTube, I love Mixer's interface. I think if you, the viewers, would actually go to Mixer and watch stuff and sign up for it, I think you would agree it is a better interface than YouTube or Twitch. A lot of you just don't want to create another account somewhere. I totally get that. But I mean, it's all free. And Mixer, as you watch, you get rewarded, like you get sparks and you can do things on the stream. It's not real money. It's like, hey, thanks for watching 2 hours of a stream. Here's some crud to do something with on our site. It's kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. But the problem there, I do not have the internet to stream, download from Mixer, and then re-upload to YouTube. With Twitch, I can stream it and export it, and none of that is done on my end. Like the export, I don't have to download it and re-upload it. And when you have a capped internet, that is a big deal. So that's kind of why we're on Twitch. Again, I've used Twitch for years and years and years, so it's nothing new to me. But like I said, that is the plan. I'm going to be streaming there as much as I can, just to kind of get away from some of the BS that YouTube has become that I'm sick of dealing with. So that said, Thursday we should have our elemental power videos for the Magic Sorcerer. I'm very tempted to play through a level. If you have one you would like to see, we've only got 3 options, mainly because I want more parts to make more Imaginators at this point in time. And I do have plans for this character. If I can get the parts, I kind of wouldn't mind having a witch, to be honest with you, but I just don't know that I like the elemental powers for a witch. But that's another story another day. It's 3:50 in the morning. I hope you're asleep unless you're in Australia. I hope you're having a great day. And, I'm going to wrap this up, get it edited, go release a video, which I guess will be Shotgun Farmers? I don't know. Fantastic game. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to watch it. It'll probably be ad-free because YouTube doesn't seem to like it. And then, case in point, my amiibo unboxing videos. The terribly offensive debacles that they are routinely now getting flagged and demonetized by YouTube, because there's nothing more evil a guy can do on the internet than unbox Peach in a wedding dress on a pool table and talk about how cool Bowser looks in a tuxedo. I mean, hey, I apologize for being such a scumbag, folks. It's oneofwisdom.com. Again, please follow me on Twitch. Tell your friends about it. If you're in the comments and be like, man, what's going on, please, that's all I ask. I don't ask for your money. Just help me out here. And I would actually love to get to a point where I could earn ad revenue on Twitch, because otherwise it's just like free. I've been streaming there for free for years. And that is the honest gospel. I've made zero. Not a dime, not a nickel, not a penny, nothing from everything I've ever done on Twitch, which has been quite a bit. The other thing, it's hard for me to build an audience with my streams because, like right now, 3:51 in the morning, let's be honest, there's not a lot of people that would be up to watch Skylanders Imaginators research, right? So it's a complicated life, man, I'll tell you that. But I'm losing my voice. I'll let you go. Let me know what you think of these Magic Sorcerer quandaries we've mentioned. And again, I'm very interested on the which being tied in with magic, undead, or something else. So let me know your thoughts on that. Again, Thursday we should do the elemental powers, and we'll take it from there. If you want to see one of the levels, let me know which one, and we'll probably stream that, which will again be on Twitch, not YouTube. So let me know your thoughts there. I will catch you back here for the next installment of Skylanders Research. Adios.